Turn off every light in the room and stare into the darkest corner. Within seconds, your brain will begin searching for movement, faces, and shapes that may not exist. You can tell yourself there is nothing there. It does not matter. The fear starts before logic gets a vote, and the reason reaches back to a time when imagining a threat was safer than missing a real one. Think about what darkness actually does to you. The room does not change. The furniture stays where it was. The door is still closed. Nothing enters. But the moment the light disappears, certainty disappears with it. Humans depend on vision more than almost any other sense. Your eyes tell you where the walls are, who is standing nearby, whether something is moving, and how far away the danger might be. In daylight, that system feels effortless. In darkness, it collapses. Your eyes do not simply switch off, they change modes. In bright light, cone cells give you color and sharp detail. In low light, rod cells take over. Rods are extremely sensitive, but they are bad at color and fine detail. They work best away from the exact center of your vision. That is why a faint shape can seem to appear in the corner of your eye, then vanish the moment you look directly at it. Your brain receives less information, and then it starts guessing. That is the first reason darkness feels occupied even when it is empty. Your brain is not a camera. It does not wait patiently for perfect evidence. It takes incomplete signals and builds the most likely version of the world around you. In daylight, those guesses are usually accurate. In darkness, they become monsters. A hanging jacket becomes a person. A branch scraping a window becomes fingernails. The house settling becomes a footstep in the hallway. Your brain is trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. And when survival is involved, it does not choose the calmest answer. It chooses the safest one. For most of human history, that made sense. Before houses, streetlights, locked doors, and motion sensors, night was not just daytime without the sun. It was a different world. Humans lost the sense they relied on most, while many of the animals around them did not. Large cats could move quietly through low light. Hyenas could approach beyond the edge of a fire. Snakes were almost impossible to see on the ground. A hole, cliff, rival group, or injured animal could be only a few steps away. The danger was not that humans knew something was there. The danger was that they did not know. Imagine two ancestors hearing a branch snap outside the firelight. The first assumes it is nothing and goes back to sleep. The second assumes it might be a predator and wakes the group. Most nights, the second person is wrong. It is only wind, a bird, a falling branch. But the one night it is not. The cautious brain survives. Evolution does not reward the creature that is correct most often. It rewards the creature that stays alive long enough to reproduce. And in darkness, false alarms were cheap. Missing a real threat was not. So the human brain developed a bias. When information is unclear, assume agency. Assume the sound came from something. Assume the movement had a cause. Assume the eyes in the darkness belong to someone looking back. Psychologists sometimes describe this as hyperactive agency detection. The idea is simple. Humans are unusually quick to detect minds, intentions, and living things around them, even when the evidence is weak. That is why you see faces in clouds, electrical outlets, tree bark, and shadows. A face is one of the most important patterns your brain can recognize. Friend, stranger, child, enemy. Your survival once depended on identifying it quickly, so your brain became almost too good at finding faces, especially in the dark. But there is another system working underneath all of this, and it is faster than thought. Threat processing can begin before you consciously understand what you are seeing. A sudden shape appears in the doorway. Your body tightens. Your heart rate changes. Your attention locks onto it. Only after that do you realize it is a coat. The fear came first. The explanation arrived later. This is why telling yourself, there is nothing there, often does not work immediately. The logical part of your mind is trying to calm a system that already pulled the alarm. Your body would rather embarrass you than bury you. And this may explain why fear of darkness is so common in children. A young child can imagine something before they can reliably test whether that imagined thing is possible. Their world is full of invisible causes. A noise might mean a person. A shadow might mean a creature. The space beneath a bed cannot be inspected from the pillow, so the mind fills it. Adults often dismiss this as childish, but from the brain's point of view, the child is doing exactly what humans evolved to do. They are treating uncertainty as danger. Children are also smaller, less able to protect themselves, and more dependent on nearby adults. Darkness hides the people who make them feel safe. The fear is not always about a monster. Sometimes it is about being alone when something happens. That part never fully disappears. Notice how much easier darkness feels when another person is beside you. The same room, the same shadows, the same sounds, but the fear weakens. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans survived the night in groups. They slept near family members. They kept fires alive. Someone was often awake while others rested. Safety was not a locked door. Safety was another human being close enough to hear you. Fire changed the night, but it never erased it. A flame created a small island of visibility surrounded by an enormous black world. Inside the light, people could see faces, share food, tell stories, and watch one another. Outside it, anything could be waiting. That boundary may be one of the oldest emotional landscapes in the human mind. Light meant people. Darkness meant uncertainty. And then very recently, we changed the rules. Street lamps spread through cities. Candles became cheaper. Gaslighting turned night into usable time. Electricity placed daylight inside every room. In only a few generations, humans went from arranging their lives around darkness to treating darkness like a malfunction. Today, complete darkness is rare. There are lights on chargers, clocks, hallways, roads, buildings, and screens. Even the night sky above cities is no longer truly black. Most people can remove darkness with one movement of a finger, but the brain reacting to it is much older than the switch. That creates a strange mismatch. Your surroundings may be safer than any environment your ancestors knew, but the ancient system does not receive a safety certificate. It receives missing information, and missing information still feels like danger. This does not mean every fear of darkness is identical. Some people barely feel it. Others experience nyctophobia, an intense fear that can disrupt sleep in daily life. Memory, anxiety, frightening experiences, culture, and imagination can all strengthen or weaken the response. Evolution built the alarm. Your life decides how sensitive it becomes. And there is one final reason darkness frightens us that has nothing to do with predators. Darkness removes the outside world and leaves you alone with the inside one. During the day, your attention is occupied. Faces, movement, tasks, screens, traffic, conversation. At night, those signals disappear. Small sounds become louder. Thoughts feel closer. The mind begins searching not only the room, but itself. This may be why so many human stories place ghosts, spirits, and monsters in darkness. Darkness gives fear somewhere to live. It hides the thing, which means the imagination is free to make it as dangerous as possible. A visible threat has limits. An invisible one does not. So tonight, when you turn off the light and the corner of the room suddenly feels different, remember what is happening. Your eyes are losing detail. Your brain is filling the gaps. Your threat system is choosing caution. Millions of nights of survival are pressing one old rule into your body. Do not assume the darkness is empty. That rule protected your ancestors from animals they could not see, strangers they could not identify, and dangers they could not name. It kept them close to the fire, close to the group, awake long enough to hear the branch snap twice. You know there is probably nothing in the corner. Your brain knows something else. For most of human history, darkness was not frightening because humans imagined monsters, because darkness had taught them that not seeing the danger never meant it was not there.